Yeah, red light on the side.
We're recording?
We're recording.
Okay.
My audio went. You want to step on that thing down there? Just step on it and push it down.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Because we're moving.
Okay. We're floating, we're flying, we're moving.
We're floating, we're moving, huh? Okay.
We are rolling. So tell me, at what age were you when you started playing piano? Talk to me. And now how you do this is you answer back, you go, I started playing when I was blah, 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 blah. And make them short. You see what I mean? So I don't have to be in.
I was 1 month old.
All right, so here we go.
No.
Right, 1 second. And so, Aaron, tell me about your experience. When did you first learn to play
5.
piano? 3, 2, 1?
No. Things I don't want to edit out because they're too much fun. But I was 5 years old when I started.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well, I had a brother and 2 sisters, and we all started at that same age, and my mother taught us, and then we ended up taking lessons from our neighborhood piano teacher, who we corresponded with until her death, actually. She would send us Christmas cards and stuff, even until she died a few years ago, and she kept sending us Christmas cards. Mary Lou Wade.
Wow. Let's do it from the top again, and we'll just go.
And you don't have to ask any.
Hey, Aaron, thanks for joining us today to do this interview.
I'm glad you came over, Trent.
Cool. All right, so listen real quick so everybody gets a heads up. How did you get started real quick when you were a kid? Tell us how that first thing happened.
Well, the bus driver let me off, and I happened to be a piano right there where I was, and so I just sat down and started playing. No,
this was on the street, right? The piano was on the street?
The piano was on the street.
That's
They do them at
cool.
bus stations now, but they used to just sit them in the middle of the freeway, and I would just sit down and play. So.
Right. Awesome. So where'd it go? Where'd it lead to?
Slightly toward the south, which is the way the road. Well, I just it was something to do back then. It was something that my siblings did, and so I did it. But making music is a fun thing. That's pretty much what it all boils down to. Making music is cool. Making music is fun.
And the current stuff that we're going to hear coming up in these next concerts, what's the objective there? Are these some complex pieces? Because I remember working with you in the past. You had some very complex musical pieces.
The first piece is they're all very complex. I don't know that I do anything that's not complex anymore. The first thing is Beethoven Opus 7, which is one of his early piano sonatas. And the last time I performed that was nearly 40 years ago. It was actually on my senior recital in college. It's the second thing is this piece that was a set of variations on a Chopin prelude by a Spanish composer who composed it from about the 30s to the 50s. He was dodging Nazis at the time he did it. And then the third thing is something that I performed 15 years ago, a Rachmaninoff piano sonata that at the time I thought I was performing the original version, but I wasn't. I was performing a version that he revised 18 years after the original, and this time I'm doing the original. In some ways it's almost like doing a completely different piece.
Cool, cool. In the process of your skill set development, what would you say, what knowledge have you gained? What I really almost would be like this. The thought would be, for the common person who's playing the piano, you know, such as myself who can't play and I just make up stuff, but in that scenario, what are some unique things that are tool sets that one would want to gain access to that really empower them when they're playing?
Well, that's really a good question. Too bad I didn't think of it. Gosh, you know, you got to be able to memorize the music. That's one of the things. You also you have to have a really good sense of rhythm, because when you're playing, you're doing something from beginning to end that could last in a single movement anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, and during that time, you have to be able to know what your basic tempo is and come back to it, whether you speed up or slow down. Those are some just very fundamental technical tools that you have to have, as well as being able to understand how your own hands work and how to work your hands and keep your right fingers on the keys and the other fingers out of the way. There are so many things involved in it. After having been in it for some 50 years or more, it's just, there are so many things. In fact, Alice has suggested that I write a book about it, but I don't know what I would say. It's such a big thing.
When you're doing a concert, what are you expecting your guests to absorb from this or gain, and, you know, what are you sensing? What do you want? What do you want to give them? What are you giving the audience?
One of the things I find in music is what I call magic moments. Everything, Beethoven kind of said it pretty well. He said the music needs to be at the same time surprising and inevitable. But there are also certain points in a piece, and I guess it depends upon your own view of the piece, of which magic happens in that particular moment. And it's just so fascinating. Time kind of stops, and you start to sense something that's just, all the beauty in the music is kind of wrapped up in that one little moment. You want to get to that moment, and you want your listener to be right there with you. You want them to be part of that moment with you, so that when it gets done, they may not know exactly what happened, but it was as transformative for them as it has been for me.